Hey, YouTubers and model community. It's Mario Cosby coming at you. Well, I started another build back in, what was it, May. And I just finished it up, I think, this past weekend. Just a little touch up here and there that I had to do to it today and just clean it all up. But what I did was I got the AMT 57 convertible Thunderbird. So there's the 55, but here's the box art. And hold on, let me go back out. I got my power cable tethered, plugged into the camera here, because I only got so much. How much time I got? 4 minutes. So it's going to be a little longer than 4 minutes. So that's why it's like I'm limited on what I can do here. So I'll just keep it plugged in, and we'll just be limited. Anyway, I want to talk to you guys a little about this build. It was a good build. When I bought the kit, I sort of regretted it after I got it home and looked through it, and I said, why'd I buy this? And then, no, you know. I said, yeah, I just let it sit there, and I said, well, I'll figure something out. And I did. You know me, I don't build box stock, and of course I had to modify it and give it the Pro Touring or the the hot rod look, but kept it classy. Thunderbird is a classy car, especially these older ones. They're right in line with the Lincolns. So that's why I want to keep it. I want to keep it classic. So I think I accomplished that, but also gave it that stance and the hot rod look, but at the same time classy. And I think I accomplished that. I think I did pretty good on that. Sort of like the 55, still a classy looking car, but it's a hot rod, you know. And you know it just by looking at it. And the same thing with the Thunderbird, but what you'll notice is that it looks classy. So you wouldn't think it was a hot rod. So let me show you what I did with this thing. And there it is. The paint on it is a House of Colors Brandywine, and of course spray can I got off Amazon. I picked up that can right here, and the I picked up candy apple root beer, or candy root beer. That'll go over a gold base, a gold metallic base, and that should really pop out real nice. I was kind of nervous when I was painting this because I never used candies before. So I did a lot of research, went online, you know, various different painters who, that's all they do is use candies and House of Colors. It's, once I started using this like any other color that you're laying down, it's a lacquer base product, and you just need a base. I could have used black and got a black cherry. That would have looked real nice, but I didn't want black for the model. So I went with the Duplicolor Chrysler silver. It's a bright silver metallic, and laid 3 coats over that, and then 3 coats of I think it's a Max 2K Ultra Clear Coat, Ultra Gloss Clear Coat, and I did 3 coats of that. I did a light coat, medium coat, and then I waited 24 hours, sanded it out, and then used a wet coat to give it the, the, the depth and the shine that I needed to give it, with minimum coats, because 2 coats of primer, 2 coats of base, 3 coats of Brandywine, and then 3 coats of clear. That's a lot of paint. If it wasn't for having opening doors, which I glued shut, then I probably would have used 3 or 4 coats I mean 4 or 5 coats of clear. But since we had opening doors, the problem with paint buildup is around the door jambs, and then you're trying to fit the doors in and have them go flush when the door jamb's full of paint and clear. So I had to sand all that down. I didn't tape it off. And the reason I didn't tape it off was a lot of times, for those that paint and build, know that if you don't get every square inch of the body and door jambs or whatever that you're painting, then when you go to tape things off and you go pull the tape off, it pulls the paint up with it. So that was my biggest fear. That's why I didn't tape it. I just sprayed it. I mean, don't get me wrong. I sanded the door jambs the best I could and all that other stuff, but I just didn't want to take that chance. And then I had to sand all that back out just to get the doors to fit flush and to fit somewhat in the model. So there you have it, YouTubers. And when I say this thing is miles deep, that paint is miles deep. You can see my finger's reflection in that, above the light reflection. See it? And believe it or not, what I did was, this is sanded. It did have a little, very, very little. I got some smudging on the hood from my fingers. Yeah, some little, smudging. Anyway, I gotta wipe that hood off. It did have a little orange peel in it. Not much, I could still see a little over in here, things like that. But it's very minimal. I did sand it out after it was completely dry, which is about 24 hours, which is a good thing. And this thing's ultra hard. And believe it or not, I only used 1,500, and I used the foam, the Tamiya foam pads that they sell now, sanding pads. I like them a lot better than the regular sandpaper. So I wet sanded all that out and buffed it out with Novus number 2. I'm going to show you what I use. Well, everybody knows Novus number 2. Plus I got 1. But what you don't realize is that this is a mini buffer. And see, I'm a mechanic by trade. I've been doing this all my life. And Snap-on sells this variable speed buffer for smaller projects, doing headlights and things like that, buffing out headlights and just small projects on an automobile. And what I did, I got the 3M pad, and then just the white one, and then the black one, which is a little harder than the white. I used the black with the Novus on the whole entire model. Then the problem with Novus is that Novus leaves a film or a sheen, and it's weird. It's just a weird sheen on it that you can't wipe off. Just conventionally, just doesn't come off. So after that, I had to I buffed it out with the white pad with the mirror glaze. That took off about 80% of it. Then to finish it off, I just used a wax cleaner on a applicator, and just wiped it off with a microfiber cloth, and there's your results right there. So I wasn't going to present it with the top on, and the reason was because it was white when, of course, before I painted it. And I said, you know, I got a little lazy, and I said, I really don't want to, you know, it looks nice enough as it is without the top. But I said, yeah, let me just, you know, I was going to paint the top black, but I said, you know, let me try it. So I'm glad I did. I painted the same colors the interior, added the glass, and, you know, it comes with all that, the port windows, and then I did the window trim, the chrome window trim. And put it on there, and as you can see, that damn thing looks real nice on it. So there you have the body and the build of the body, the painting and everything else. It came out very, very nice. I'm very satisfied with it. I'm happy, actually. I wasn't sure how it was going to turn out, to be honest with you. I was going to use the fender skirts, but I said, nah, that big wheel that looks real nice in there, those wheels. Now, that's the other thing. Those wheels came off the same model or the same die cast that I bought, two of the same die cast for these projects. And they're both the Camaro right there. It's a dub. It's a Dub City Camaro, weight 18 scale. And there's a lot of things in there. Like if you look at the interior tub right there, I cut out the center console, and you'll see why in a minute. In the trunk, it's got stuff that you can use, you know, in a diorama. You can take that stuff out, put it in a diorama. There's a toolbox. It's got some nitric oxide bottles in there. There's a lug wrench. Also, there was a fire extinguisher in there. So, you know, there's some things in there, and I think I paid like $35 or $40 for it. I'm opening up the hood. Give me a second. And then there's some stuff in the hood that I can use, you know, see, for future builds. So I just want to show you guys that. Because I've had some people ask me, where you get the wheels? Where you get the wheels? Well, that's where I got them from. You get them off of eBay. And you get them, they're expensive now. They're running about $150. But that's for a new one. This thing was used. It has some damage done to it. I didn't care about the body because I was going to cannibalize it anyway. So there you have it, YouTubers. Now let me show you the interior with the top off, and I'll show you what I do with the center console. So there's the center console that came out of the Camaro. You know, I incorporated it in. I did some flocking, black flocking, but I used a little red flocking mixed in with the black just to give it a little pop there. You know, two-toning. I used the steering wheel out of Camaro, fit it perfect. It's a tilt wheel. Then I used the brake, gas pedal, emergency brake also out of the Camaro and just highlighted it. The seat belts, I made the seat belt, but the ends, the locks and the clavis, that came out. Those were from the MPC Cobra kit. So they come with seat belts, pre-molded, you know, not pre-molded, but they're already, you know, plastic seat belts. I just cut the ends off and glued them onto the fabric. Also did this is the chrome on these door panels and the dash. As you can see, it came out really, really nice. Black washed it out and things like that. So it added some, it added to it and made it look very nice. But I got this stuff called Paz Stick, S-P-A-Z-S-T-I-X, and what it is, it's supposed to be chrome, and I use, they sell the base. There's two parts. There's the black spray paint and then the chrome spray paint. Matter of fact, I got it sitting right there. Let me zoom in on it. See it? Right there next to it. That's the chrome one. Right next to it is the black. But I didn't use the black because the black is enamel. So what I did was I used Tamiya's black spray paint, and that's ultra black. That's a nice dark black, and it worked out real well. Then once you spray it on there, it dries within an hour. I used a Q-tip. Well, these are not Q-tips. I get them from Amazon. I use these things. These are swippers, applicators. And I just used them and just polished it out with that. And it came out really, really nice. As you can see, center console with the shifter. What I did was do the little two-toning on the wheel, on the inserts of the seats. I used black wash. I didn't like the way it looked. It looked horrible, so I had to repaint that. And then I used a little darker color, a little sand, but it was darker, and just I thinned it out real thin, and almost made it a wash. So yeah, that turned out real well. So now to the business end, but let's look underneath the car for a minute before we get to the business end. Alright, as you can see from front to back, that's the exhaust, the headers connected to the exhaust pipe into the muffler down to the resonator, and that goes all the way back out to the back of the vehicle or the model. Made my traction bars, of course. Narrowed the rear down. That's aluminum dry shaft in there. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, it's aluminum dry shaft. Now we'll get to the engine. Painted the oil pan gold, like a Moroso oil pan. So here's the engine. It's a 427 FE with a Weber carburetor system on here. Now that engine comes in the Cobra MPC Cobra kit, and what I did was I used the block and I used the valve covers out of that kit. Then I ordered from Texas 3D Customs. That gentleman over there makes a 427 with the Weber carburetor setup, which is more authentic than the one that comes in the MPC kit. And that's what I used. I only used the intake. I used the, let me spin this around, the alternator water pump system off that engine, and the headers. He asked yourself, well, why didn't you just use the whole engine? It was smaller. It's a 1/16 scale engine, but it was smaller sitting in this engine bay. Just looked tiny, man. Well, I'm not gonna say it looked tiny. It didn't look scale. Let me put it to you that way. It's a beautiful engine. The guy does fantastic work. But I just used the intake off of this one, and you know, the front of the water pump and the alternator and the belt system, pulley system. Also, I scratch built the radiator. Now the radiator is from the 1/12 scale Camaro, and what I did, I cut it down to the size I needed it. Then I wrapped it. This all here is just channel. That's all that is. Forgot what size it is, 1/4 inch or something like that. Maybe not less than that. Probably 3/8. No, not 3/8. 3/16 channel. And then I wrapped that around the portion of the radiator that I cut out, and just added a filler cap, radiator cap, with an overflow hose on it. Used the original shroud that came with the kit, and used the fan from the MPC Cobra kit. I also used the oil pan from Texas Custom 3Ds. But the block and transmission came out of the MPC kit. I don't know if you can see that. This is the brake booster, the original brake booster, but in there I have the, right down in there you can see the fuel pump, running the lines. You know, my normal work, I scratch built the distributor, That's the coil out front here. I still got to run the wires for that. I just remember that. I made the battery hold down. Also added the terminals and the battery cables. You know, battery terminals with the battery cables. I cut the battery down. That battery came all the way up to the top of this fender well. So I cut that battery almost in half just to get it down in there and make it look somewhat presentable. Of course, this blue thing is the washer bottle, you know. But there you have it, YouTubers. I hope you guys like it. I just want to thank you guys for all those that has subscribed to my channel. My well-wishers that come by and take a look at the work that I'm doing. And for all those that leave their comments, I appreciate it. I appreciate you guys. If you have any questions concerning this model or any other one of them, please leave me a message or leave me a comment and I'll get back to you. Again, thank you so much for coming by and seeing this build. It was a good build. Now my next build, I'm thinking about buying the Trans Am, the 1/16 scale Trans Am. I think I'm not sure if it's an AMT or a Revell. So I got to do some work with that. I may be getting another Camaro again for the wheels. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know if I want to use the engine that's in there with the hood scoop coming out the hood. No, I may go with a blower on that one. Not sure. I'm going to talk to the gentleman over at Custom 3D and see if he can make me a Pontiac motor 455 for that. So we'll see. I haven't picked it up yet. I'm still debating on it. But that will, if that's not my next build, I got plenty of models, believe me, in my closet. And I'll pick out something else. So until next time, YouTubers, hopefully I'll see somebody over at Gilbertsburg that visits my channel. They're having Super September Showdown. It's the week after Memorial Day. It's the following week after Memorial Day. Then after that comes the Halloween Bash. I think it's the 31st in Allentown. Forgot the model club. You know, the model club that's doing that. But I went there last year. It had a good time, and it worked out pretty well for me. So we'll see what happens. So again, I hope to see some of you guys there. And until next time, Mario out. Be safe, y'all. Bye-bye.